the first of our classics today. So over to you.
Right, this is a book called The Death Rays of Ardilla by that well-known author, Captain W.E. Johns, for all those people who thought he just wrote bigger books. I will read from the inside of the dust jacket first, just to give you an idea about these particular death rays. Moldova said, Ardilla is putting out a veritable barrage of rays. A stranger from beyond the third region told us that all ships in their section of the universe have been warned to keep well clear of Ardilla. One of their ships, after sending out a signal that it was being attacked by a red stranger, failed to return to its base. This is causing Terramanga considerable anxiety, which is odd because Terramanga is the planet and we're on the southern district. We are not exactly helpless, but we have no wish to be involved in an interplanetary war. Someone should face up to this problem, declared the professor. Oh, wait a minute, Professor, put in Toby. I hope you're not getting any funny notions about going to the rescue. They've now set off in their spaceship and landed on our planet to aid another group of people who sent out a distress signal and mysteriously disappeared. We're about to leave this spaceship. It should be said that at the last minute Rex had declared his intention of discarding his jacket on account of the oppressive heat. But his father, pointing to the edge of a cloud that was creeping up on the horizon, advised him against this, saying that it might do. As from the spongy state of the ground, it often did. Rex accepted the advice, not so much as he was afraid of getting wet, because he's a very brave chap, as because it struck him suddenly that the lost men had done just that. They had left their space travel helmets and jackets in their ship. Was there a lesson, a warning to be gathered from this?
50 feet to stop.
55p to continue.
Oh dear, 20p to stop.
Another 50p to continue.
Incidentally, we should have had somebody doing the kind of maths in this.
Okay,
So-
so £1, 5 pence, continue.
Right.
Right, go on then.
He didn't know. But he kept his cap and his coat on. The next chapter, which is chapter 4, is entitled The Peril Strikes.
I never think of chapter headings like that. It's great. I actually can't think of anything like that. Yeah, well, that's true. It takes years, doesn't it?
5p to read the chapter heading again.
Yes.
Chapter 4, The Peril Strikes. They continued on their way through what Rex found to be a disconcerting silence, the only sounds being an occasional remark called from one to another, and the continuous swish of their feet through the long grass.
Yo! Yeah!
This unnatural
I'll pay
silence
50p for the acting.
was itself almost a threat. At least Rex found it so. The absence of sound and menacing quality. Was the place really dead?
50 feet stop. Cut off.
20p to carry on. Come on, guys.
It's around 60 to carry on, 50 to stop.
Another 40, making £1 to carry on.
Yeah, go on then.
Was the place really dead? He wondered. And if so, why? Why were there no insects even to provide a background, however slight, with their noises? If Petroconda, that's the name of the was as harmless as it appeared to be, why were there none? None. Why were there none? He followed it. His purpose was good grammar. The last thing he was talking about were the insects' background noises. Ergo, he says, why were there none, i.e. the insects' background noises?
Why weren't there any? Yeah.
Why were there none?
Why were there none? Yes. Why were there not any? Well, yes, why were there none? Yes. Say it. Yeah.
Only the grass.
Any special reason you chose this?
Very much alive. It was uncanny. Every time he looked down behind him to see it rising after being trodden down, there was no trail. Nothing to show it had just been walked.
50p to stop. 50p to stop.
Oh my God.
55 takes you on the grass now.
25p to stop.
75 versus 55.
I'll make it up to £1 to continue.
Alright. Oh dear.
He had seen many varieties of grass in his travels. Plenty on his own planet. But he had never seen a species with these particular qualities. Nature, in the process of its wonderful evolution, did nothing without purpose. There was, he felt sure, as the professor had suggested, a reason for this strange behavior. But there was no indication of what it was, nor could his imagination provide a clue. He found himself almost hoping that something would break the monotony of what they were doing. Anyway, it all seemed quite futile. He realized that as Quantos was Vargo's friend, the least they could do was make a search, or, as it seemed, make a pretense of searching.
25p to stop.
Any bids for stop to continue? What is this?
Once we find out.
25 to stop.
25 to stop. Any other bids?
30 feet to continue.
So we got 45 to 50 to stop and
30 to continue.
right. Do you want to hear any more of this marvel of English literature? No? Okay. Stop.
Right to the end of the page.
What do we have to pay you for not to?
One of the rules, I think, is that
Well,
if people have actually paid for a continuation, they should get at least 2 or 3
They
paragraphs.
just
worth,
pay to
you know.
start.
I'll pay 35p to continue to the end of the page.
Okay, go on.
But no further.
Actually, the end was at hand. And it came when the professor suddenly threw up his hands, letting out a cry in which alarm and horror were blended. They all closed in on him at a run, and then he could see what he had seen. On the ground, half hidden in the grass, were the bodies of 3 men. All were dead, and had been for some time. And what had caused their deaths was plain to see. They had suffered such terrible injuries that they might have been done to death by savages armed with spears and clubs. Their heads and faces, in particular, were horribly mutilated. Their shirts were bloodstained, and even their hands, which looked as though they had been used in defense, had not escaped. They did not lie close together, but a little apart, in line with their ship, as if each had been running towards it when death had overtaken them. Ashen, Rex recoiled from the horrid sight as Toby dropped to his knees beside the nearest. Horrid sight, that was. Toby made a swift examination and rose to his feet, shaking his head. These poor fellows are beyond help.
I must be a doctor.
Jim. Now, what about the place being dead? Muttered Tiger grimly as he hitched his rifle and looked around suspiciously. The professor regarded Vargo questioningly. I thought you said there were 4 men. There were 4. Is Quantos one of these? No. I knew what the other was.
I'm dying to know what chapter 5 is called. Can I see chapter 4? What's it called? Errol Strikes Again. Oh, drawings as well.
Wow. 20p for the title of chapter 5. I know I'm not working.
I was going to use it in my next novel, but you might.
Chapter 5. Borum tells a tale.
Right, I have a little gem here. It's called Assault! Exclamation mark, and it's by that well-known, world-famous writer Ross Camrar. You might get.
Campaign for real ill.
You may get a sort of soupçon of the flavour of this particular epic if I read what's written on the cover, which is, under the surgeon's knife, Griff Sheridan had become more than any woman dared hope for. A superhuman 25th century lover capable of driving all girls wild.
It's Jay Kirk!
I can't quite understand, under the surgeon's knife. I mean, this implies that you're removing things. Obviously like when we started. Oh yes, yes. Well, I mean, I don't know that. Okay, here we go. The chapters don't have that. It's sort of called chapter 1, you know, macho type. Hard and pointed.
20p to stop.
Filthy mind. Anything. It could be his hat, his head.
His nose.
Nose. Alright, stop it.
Come on.
Hard and pointed. The Martian girl's breast.
50 to stop.
60 to continue.
She's read that one. Perfect.
I think several thousand people have read this actual edition because it's really formative. Lots of sticky fingerprints all over.
Alright, we'll continue, shall we? You're 16, my 13.
Right, so you're going to get a page of this now, right? Hard and pointed, the Martian girl's breasts burned against his cheek. Well, you know, I mean, smart. Burned against his, sorry, his chest. It's not that kinky. Sheridan's kiss was fierce, crushing me into her dark red lips, while her hot darting tongue searched his mouth. The man pressed harder, sensing the fervid desire rising in the sensing the fervid desire. Desire's no good. It's no good, it's not fervid, is it? Desire's useless, it's not fervid. Sensing the fervid desire rising in the tiny brown-skinned wench. With the strength of his arms, he lifted her from beside him and brought her across his body. Look at his anatomical diagrams. The girl locked an arm tight around his neck, while the other hand tore at the short bolero jacket that masked her bosom. And the third arm, no.
On the other hand.
The laces gave, big surprise. The vest loosened, and grasping the man's hand, she guided it to the brown-tipped spears that lay now free and naked. I don't know what they are. Sheridan caressed and cupped and teased the surging flesh.
Daddy, flesh!
Feeling the nipples rise and become hard and stiff beneath his fingers. Oh yes, that's the other bit, yes. The girl's lips moistened as he hurried her kisses across his face. He hurried his kisses across his face. Her tongue dancing as it tasted his lips, his eyes, his ears, his throat.
Well, actually, it's got a beautiful rounded flavour. Jam!
Oh God, I'm starving, she said.
Are you on the next page?
Very nearly. More, or you want to... Oh, shade more, dear. As the man searched for the concealed fastenings of her wide flaring skirt, the Martian girl smothered a groan of sheer animal pleasure with another demanding kiss, her body wriggling beneath Sheridan's roaming hands.
50 feet a stop.
Thank God for that.
It gets worse.
20?
We're on even bidding to stop at the moment.
Another 20 to stop.
75 to stop. Are there any more connoisseurs out there? You don't want to hear about the whipped cream?
Come on, yeah, no, 30 to continue. I want to hear about
That's
that.
so that's 80 to continue, 75 to stop.
You know this, do you?
Yeah.
So wait.
So that's it. So another 50.
It's 125 to stop it.
125 to stop.
Yeah.
130 to continue.
Alright, come on then.
No, it goes.
Continue.
I lied about the whipped cream.
At last she eased one arm from its desperate grip on the man's wide shoulders and sent that hand quickly to her waist to snap free the skirt, to peel it away from her shuddering body, unveiling herself completely. Her breath was coming in short staccato bursts. Sheridan felt his own pulse racing faster and faster as his hands found her and began the slow, searching motions that were the most passionate caresses of all. Opening his eyes, well, that was for the orbs that he put on the table. The man found himself looking deep into the girl's large violet eyes, gleaming with a bright inner glow as she rose in ecstasy. With her bosom heaving, shuddering,
It's not properly voltage.
it's like a couple of sheets flapping in the wind. She lifted his head and pulled his face down. Sorry, she pulled his face down to the deep, dusky cleft between her breasts, feeling his lips bring her flesh to life as he kissed the dark gold skin. She's a chameleon. As his mouth found the tips and tasting them sent new shivers of excitement through her.
50p to stop. 50p to stop, right.
What about the
Pound to stop.
pineapple?
No, I'm not believing you anymore.
Pound to stop, right?
Okay.
Right.
Quite a lot of mileage.
Okay, all right. By way of contrast,
Yeah, I
then,
know.
this is by popular demand, really.
Oh, not the crabs.
Well, it's not the night of the crabs, which caused such a furore last time. Lots of young children had to be asked to leave the room. I remember I was reading one section of Night of the Crabs, and I'd actually forgotten what was coming next, believe it or not. I'd forgotten that it really got worse than it was. And as I was reading it, it was only then that I noticed that there were quite a few youngsters in the room, and I thought, my God, and one had his mum and dad with it. I thought, you know, I'll have to stop in a minute, but they got left before the Okay, so this is a fairly clean bit. Well, it's messy, but it's clean.